Let me ask you something. What would you really do with your life if money was completely off the table? For the philosopher Alan Watts, the answer to that question identifies the cycle we fall into without realizing it's even there. When Watts posed this to his students, they would confess these amazing passions. They wanted to be painters, poets, or writers. But every single time, they hit the exact same roadblock. You simply can't earn a living that way. This illustrates what Watts called the trap of sensible work. You do work you dislike to earn money to live, purely so you can go on doing the work you dislike. Watts called this cycle stupid, a loop making absolutely no logical sense. He used a rather graphic metaphor to describe how we handle this problem. He said it's all retching and no vomit. We justify our miserable choices by teaching our own kids to repeat our mistakes. By defining our purpose through financial survival, we manufacture a generational cycle of dissatisfaction, and we disguise the whole thing as being practical. Watts offered a stark alternative. He argued it is far better to have a short life full of what you actually like doing than a long life spent in misery. This graph maps out his logic. Love what you do, and you pour in the time, pushing the curve straight toward mastery. Once you cross that threshold, people value your skill, and a master can command a good fee. But solving the financial equation leaves us with a deeper inquiry. If acquiring money isn't the final objective of our labor, we have to look at what we're actually trying to obtain with that freedom. Mastering a passion solves the financial problem, but it brings us face to face with a desire for an entirely frictionless existence. This is where we encounter the idea of technological omnipotence. It is the deep-down fantasy we share of having total, godlike control over our reality. Imagine bending the world to your will instantly. Apples that never rot, clothes that never wear out, transporting yourself anywhere in a blink. It is a dream of absolute zero friction. But what actually happens to the human experience if you achieve 100% total control? This timeline visualizes the paradox. With perfect control, the future becomes completely predictable, just a copy of the past. You lose all surprise. There is no discovery, no adventure. The experience collapses into a flat line of agonizing boredom. Our ultimate fantasy of total life control is an existential dead end. Achieving it would destroy the exact experience of living we were trying to protect. So if perfect predictability is a trap, what is the actual point of all this? According to Watts, what human beings truly deeply crave boils down to one single word: surprise. We crave the thrill of not knowing what is waiting around the corner. But there is a crucial trade-off here. To experience pleasant surprises, you have to accept the risk of unpleasant ones. You cannot separate the excitement of life from its inherent danger. They are an absolute package deal. True vitality requires abandoning the safety of total control and actively stepping into the danger of the unknown. Watts argued that our thirst for power and control is just a hollow substitute. It is the thing we chase when we are frustrated in love and when we fail to find genuine connection with the world. Nobody in their right mind should actually want to be a god. Carrying total power and total responsibility with zero surprise is not freedom. It is a prison. Which brings us right back to the beginning. What would you do if money didn't matter? Chasing cash and demanding perfect control are false targets. They are reactions to an empty space inside us. The real question Alan Watts leaves us with isn't about how you fund your survival. It is simply, what is truly worth loving?